It's George Washington, and we're on the campus of George Washington University in a circle known as, well, Washington Circle in Washington, D.C. Wow, what a coincidence. Anyway, hi guys, you are with me in Foggy Bottom, the northwest quadrant of D.C. This is George Washington University Hospital. GW Hospital used to be right there. Hey, Flames. This building you have seen before. If you ever saw when Ronald Reagan was taken after he was shot, his limousine pulled in right there, which is now a burger joint. And they came out and walked in, and then he passed out. They moved the hospital across the street about 10 years ago so that they could renovate this building. No snow. We had a little bit of snow. I'm looking for some now. I can't see any. We had a little snow 2 days ago or yesterday, but it was all like ice, goo, crap. Hey, how's it going? Guys, we're heading to the White House. So for those of you who are watching this later on YouTube, I just want to let you know this is a live broadcast on Twitter, Periscope, sometimes on Twitch, and sometimes on HAPS, H-A-P-P-S, which is a new app. I actually started this broadcast on HAPS, but we had a technical glitch, so we've decided to flip over to Twitter, Periscope for the time being. So if you ever want to watch these live, just come over to Twitter, Periscope, or HAPS, H-A-P-P-S, on Penguin 6 on all those. A lot of my videos have been going viral on YouTube lately, so we're going to take this one today, and we're going to go check out the fences at the White House. We've been up on Capitol Hill the last few days. All right. So we're at 22nd Street. We need to get to 1600 block. So we got 6 more blocks to go to get to the White House, and we will be there. On my left is the International Finance Corporation. That's part of the World Bank Group, and many of the buildings you're going to see over the next few blocks are either George Washington University buildings or World Bank buildings, since World Bank is all in this area. World Bank has the best cafeteria in DC by bar none, because they bring chefs in from all over the world to cook like authentic dishes. So like, you know, your food court has like a burger place, a salad place, and a pizza place. This food court has like European food, Asian food, African food, Latin American food. It's like everything. Today, right at this exact moment, it's like 38 degrees, which is about, 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. It's going up to a high today of about 43. It's like 4 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Celsius. We got snow coming in this weekend. We were supposed to have snow tomorrow, but that one looks like it's petered out and we're not going to get any snow, which is a bummer. But they're now saying Sunday we could get some snow. Thanks for that. The White House is not closed. It is surrounded by a fence. So yeah, if you check out my YouTube channel, Penguin 6, I've been making a lot of videos of the current situation in Washington, D.C., which is a bit mental, to say the least. Now, the White House, surprisingly, is not as locked down as the Capitol. The Capitol is an armed fortress that looks like the Berlin Wall. My video yesterday took you around to see all the National Guard troops. White House, on the other hand, is still has riot fences and cops, but no troops that we can see. This is a construction tunnel. Just a bunch of containers. Oh, we're at 21st Street, 5 more blocks. Bummer. Okay. I should get a scooter. You're back online. Traveling the world vicariously. Oh, here's one of the arrest signs. So pretty much every bus stop in the city is flashing these video billboards of people they want. This is the pipe bomber. They're still chasing the pipe bomber. They want to catch him. He's at large. They're the guys that are there active duty military. I've read in the paper that there's a small detachment, but most of the guys I've met have been National Guard. I have not seen any National Guard down here in a long time. Not since the inauguration, but the National Guard is all over the Capitol. The Capitol is surrounded by them. Okay, a couple more blocks. And then I think we have to go around because they're going to have barricades up at the White House blocking the roads, which is really, really annoying. So we'll slip over to Black Lives Matter Plaza. This is George Washington University on my right. These are all the campus buildings. This is like their campus town with like restaurants and bars and stuff. Another 5 minutes or so till we get to the White House. A little longer maybe, depending on the fences. No, the protest was January 6th, and to be honest, since January 6th, I haven't seen a single protester. I mean, honestly, none. They left, and they didn't come back, and they were replaced by thousands of troops who are still here behind barbed wire, and it's actually kind of depressing. Yeah, I just saw they're gonna go after like 400. I mean, there were thousands of people they could go after. I guess they've got their first 400 or so they want. Oh, that's just Washington. I'm not sure. That's what they're saying, is that they want to keep them until the trial goes on, but there's no intel or evidence that anything is being planned or sorted. And I think I've been reading that a lot of the right-wing sites feel coming to DC is now like a trap, so they don't want to come here. So we're kind of like, now what?
I looked at her and I was like,
So over there, that's the Mexican embassy, guys. Those two really historical buildings, and then they're like, we need more space, so they built like a giant office building on top of the two historic buildings. Okay, I guess it works. Kind of wacky. But we saved the old buildings. No, DC's downtown is almost entirely work from home. I think I read 90 to 95% of downtown is work from home. That is the Mexican embassy. This is the International Monetary Fund right across the street. The IMF is the government assistance system for governments and currency problems. Now that building right there is the World Bank. That glass thing there. Their job is to help fund development projects around the world, like a new power grid or a new dam or something like that. I think that one there is also IMF, and then the next one maybe is World Bank, and then I think this one's World Bank. They're kind of everywhere. That was 18th Street. We've got to go to 16th Street, so that was 19th Street. So 3 more blocks, guys. 3 more blocks. In fact, we're getting closer. I can see the flags at the White House. The museums are not open. The Smithsonian's are all closed. Some private museums, like the Spy Museum, are partially open. In fact, I was going to go to like the Spy Museum gift shop, because the Spy Museum gift shop is really cool. Maybe we go to... I woke up this morning saying, you know what? I want to get a Checkpoint Charlie sign at the Spy Museum, then go up to Capitol Hill and glue it to the fence. I thought that would be really cool. Ooh, the Ram car is moving. See the car there? That's the Secret Service Ram car. He's there. There's almost always a car on this street. Their mission, should you choose to accept it, is to ram any truck bomber that might be coming The COVID numbers in the DC area are going up like the rest of the country, but they're generally a bit lower than the rest of the country. We have first of all, large numbers of people in DC work from home. Second, we have a mandatory mask guideline. I mean, I'm wearing a mask now on the street. Everyone must wear a mask. And schools are all closed. So there's not as much, and the museums are closed, and movies, so it's not a lot of interaction going on. So our numbers are not bad, relatively speaking, to the rest of the country. I mean, if you look at a map, it's certainly not one of those areas where you see giant swaths of red. Now that said, though, Maryland and Virginia are doing a very poor job distributing the vaccine. I think Virginia is like the worst in the country, literally. They have distributed the least amount of vaccine. I think something like only 50% of Virginia's vaccine has actually been distributed. It's kind of like, guys, get with the program. Come on. It was fascinating. I tweeted this photograph yesterday of the Bund in Shanghai. If you don't know what the Bund in Shanghai is kind of like the Times Square of Shanghai. It's the big nightlife social area. Over the weekend, they had a reported case of community spread in Shanghai. The next day, the Bund, the Times Square of Shanghai, was completely empty. You say, oh, well, the government shut it down. No, the people shut it down. The people just said, we're not going out. There's one case, we're not going out. They locked themselves down. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That's why, and that's why the numbers have been in Hong Kong, for example. The Hong Kong numbers are very, very low. Guys, we're at the White House. Yeah, we are. I don't know if I can go on that side of the street, though. It says sidewalk closed. So that's the executive office building next to the White House. The White House itself is right down there. The vice president, so Kamala Harris is staying over in that White House there. That's the Blair House. And today she's staying there because the vice president's mansion is under renovation. Well, not in renovation. I think they're replacing a chimney. And apparently when you replace a chimney, it's actually incredibly dirty. I mean, it's like a messy, messy thing. So they said, could you just stay away for a week or two? Blair House is the official guest residence of the United States. When the British Prime Minister comes to visit, or the French President, or something like that, they are offered accommodations in Blair House, as it's the guest house of the president. When President Bush Sr. passed away, the Bush family stayed at Blair House. President Trump let them stay at Blair House for the funeral, for example. So it's like the official guest residence of the U.S. Now, when the White House is being renovated, like it was during Truman's time, Truman actually lived in Blair House across the street. That's where there was an assassination attempt on Truman. The Puerto Rican nationalist tried to kill Truman while he was in Blair House. Yeah, it's like an Airbnb. It's like the White House Airbnb, basically. So this is the new executive office building. This is where the president's national security staff and the Secret Service have their operations office. On the roof of this building, there are air defense missiles. You can actually see them if you Google White House missiles. You can see that there is a missile battery on the roof of that building, providing close-in air defense for the White House. The W Hotel's on the other side. We might go walk by it in about 10 or 15 minutes because it's a little bit of a hike. So, all right, so now we're at 17th and H. H runs along the north side of Lafayette Park. So we're gonna slide over on H Street. See, here's another Ram car. That's like a Ram Bronco. So a Ram car's mission is if they see a truck heading towards the White House, like at a crazy speed, the Ram car rams the truck. Yeah, that's his job. So that cop right there you see at the intersection, he's the ram car. And his job is basically to stop with extreme vengeance anybody who tries to get to the White House in a car bomb. Yeah, there's usually a couple of them. They're on both sides of the street. There's usually ram cars all over the place. The Capitol has a bunch of them. Sometimes they have those high-speed pursuit crash barriers, and sometimes they're just Joe average cop cars. So it's kind of random. Now, during 9/11, they had the ram car, but then they had a dude standing next to the ram car with a saw, a squad automatic weapon, which is basically a machine gun, a light machine gun. And it was hilarious because in one time I saw this bicycle cop, he's wearing shorts, he's got his silly little bike helmet on, and he's holding this gigantic automatic weapon slung over his shoulder next to his bicycle. I'm just like, okay, this looks silly. Yeah, they've got, the M249? I forgot the exact designator. It's been too long. Oh, we've got activity. Oh, he's just backing up. No? What's this guy doing? He missed his turn. Okay, guys. I didn't see any saws at the Capitol. I saw, M4s or what they carry now? The new advanced version, the M16 or whatever they are, but I did not see any bigger weapons. So there you see, there's the Secret Service checkpoint if you want to go into the White House grounds. This is Lafayette Square, Lafayette Park, which is currently closed. Usually this is open, but this has been closed. This is DuPont Circle is down that way. DuPont Park is down there, not very far from here. So this is Lafayette Park. And this is right across from the White House. This is about as close as I'm going to get on this side of the White House, I think. See if I can get up to the fence here. Try to zoom. Okay, there we go. Ah, stupid fence. There you go. You can see the White House, guys, behind all those construction trailers. Why is it closed? Now, so normally there is a presidential parade, for the president elect, and you see there's this big structure over there. Let me see if I can zoom in again. There, that thing there. Ah, crap. Come on, zoom. All right, this stupid thing. Anyway, there's that big building there, and they've got to take that down. And so, normally after most inaugurations, this park is closed for at least a month to remove that structure. Now, these fences went up for the Black Lives Matter protests, and they went up for Black Lives Matter, then they came down, then they went up again for the election, and then they've kind of stayed up since the election. And the protesters have covered this with signs. So this is Lafayette Park. Now that's Black Lives Matter Plaza over there. That's the church that had the incident with the photo op. Hang on a second. What are these guys doing? That thing's loud. So you can't even see through. So I gotta talk over this boombox, otherwise YouTube's gonna give me a copyright strike. Okay, I think I got past that without the copyright strike. It's so annoying. Why is there so much noise on this side of the street? So this is the church that had the fire in the basement, and then Trump did his photo op. And that's the street that has the big Black Lives Matter painting. Oh, this is just all sorts of Black Lives Matter stuff. Dismantle white supremacy, no justice, no peace. Pussy grabs back. I think the church is fenced off right now. I can't go in there. So I can't go in there right now. Defend Black Lives. Man. Free Galibistan. Where the hell is that? Gabistan? Okay. No, this is the closest church. Every president has gone to this church, basically. This wall is so loud, yeah? Colorism. Free Canada. Oh, free Uganda. You can see my dyslexia is coming up. I couldn't quite figure out why there was a U Canada. Free you, Canada. Okay, let's go around the other side of the White House. How about that? Hey, bonjour, Paris. You're at the White House. I'll give you one last glimpse now that we're kind of past all the noise. God, it was noisy. Let me see if I can get the camera lens in here. There we go. La Maison Blanche is behind that tree, which is now behind this fence. There we go. There are no protesters right now. Is that what they call it in France? Do they call it La Maison Blanche? Or do they have like a different name for the White House? I mean, that's like a literal translation. But I don't know if they like have something more elegant or if they just go with the literal translation. I'm gonna cut across the street here. This is the Veterans Administration, the VA. Maison Blanche? Okay. I thought they might make up something really cool. Yeah, the fencing at the White House has been up for a long time. I mean, it went up for George Floyd, then it went back up again. So the fencing went up for George Floyd. My God, it's noisy today. Then they took it down for like 2 weeks. And then the election came and they put it back up and they just sort of kept it up. And then they put up some like extra fence for the inaugural. So like during the inauguration, every one of these intersections had National Guard troops. It wasn't up there? Oh, okay. So yeah, there was like this little brief period where you could get in to the park even and like just chill and stuff, but who knows when we'll have chillness again. So like if you look at my videos from like 10 days ago, there were like National Guard troops blocking all these intersections. Trucks, guns, everything. Now, not so much. So we're gonna go down this street, which is 15th Street, I think. Yeah, 15th Street. And we're gonna go around the other side of the White House. Yeah, no more zones. Basically, everything's reopened. In fact, this road is reopened. I was surprised that H Street is reopened. But the roads around the Capitol are not. If you look at my YouTube channel from yesterday, I took you around the Capitol. It's still the Berlin Wall over there. I mean, they got razor wire. They have actual barbed razor wire on top of the fences at the Capitol. This is just a bank, New America Bank. This bank's down here was Riggs Bank, but then they went out of business for money laundering. But their advertisement used to be, the bank's so important we're actually on the money. Because if you look at the old $10 bill, on the back of the old $10 bill, you could see their bank. We're technically on year 3 of a 2-year assignment in Washington, D.C. Due to COVID, we're not allowed to return to Hong Kong. But with that, we have to make some pretty serious decisions about where we want our kids to finish their schooling. And that's gonna kind of impact what happens over the next, say, 5 years or so. Once they go to college, we'll leave. That's for sure. The Nicolas Cage movie, I was at the Archives. That's the one you're talking about, where he tried to steal the Declaration of Independence or something, or the Constitution. Yeah, that was at the Archives building. That's about 7th Street. That's about 8 blocks from here. What was that movie called? National Treasure, right? National Treasure? Yeah, that was not, that's actually not, I'm going this way. National Treasure was It's a good Saturday popcorn movie, yeah? You don't want to like have like this meaning of life discussion or anything. You just want to chill and eat popcorn. Go watch National Treasure. So that's the Treasury right there. Now we're talking about treasure. And it's next to the White House. And unfortunately, it's all locked up. It's pretty sad. Oh, I guess I can walk on that side of the street. Should we walk on that side of the street? Yeah, why not? I think we'll do it. Appointments. So, the White House is right back there. Yeah, the W Hotel is right over here. So at least this fence doesn't have the bad optics of barbed wire. I'm from downstate. I'm from Central Illinois. Originally, many years ago. So that's the Old Ebbitt Grill. That's like the ultimate power restaurant for Washingtonians. That's the W Hotel over there. Used to be called the Hotel Washington. That's famous because he did one exterior scene in Godfather 2. Yeah? Remember when Michael Corleone was testifying to the Senate? Yeah, only the Capitol has barbed wire. Remember, so when Michael Corleone got called before the Congress and then he went to the hotel afterwards and he's talking to his wife and she's just like, "It was an abortion, Michael. I was a son and I killed it." That was all supposed to take place in this hotel. So if you watch Godfather 2, you'll see this hotel building in an exterior shot, and then they filmed like an interior hotel room shot. I don't know if they're actually in the hotel. This must all end, Michael. Yeah. For those of you who are Godfather 2 fanatics or Godfather fanatics. Department of the Treasury. Next to it's another hotel, and it's famous because Donald Trump used to stay at the hotel next to this one when he came to Washington. And one time he had this really public fight with Marla Maples, and she was like throwing high heel shoes at him in the lobby of the hotel. It was crazy. Yeah, a lot of the garages down here are valet parking. This is the Hotel Washington. I don't remember the name of the one. Oh, the hotel next also is from Captain America Winter Soldier. Yeah? Do you guys remember Captain America Winter Soldier? And they were like up on the roof of a hotel, and there was a Hydra guy, the bald guy who was a Hydra guy, and they threw him off the roof, and then Falcon grabbed him and they were interrogating him for like information about Hydra. That was in that hotel right there. So if you guys watch Captain America Winter Soldier, which is probably one of the better Captain America films, it was filmed right there in that hotel. Speaking of other hotels, that's the Trump Tower, the Trump Hotel right there, that big tower. And then beyond that is the U.S. Capitol. That's about 2-3 miles away. Yeah, and Winter Soldier wasn't a bad movie. This, by the way, is the new World War I memorial being built now that we have absolutely no World War I veterans left alive. I guess they were. I remember remarking after I saw Captain America Winter Soldier, imagine if Robert Redford died right after that movie. His last words in any movie would be, "Hail Hydra." Like, yes, my career is punctuated by, you know, everything from Butch Cassidy and All the President's Men to Hail Hydra. That building is the Department of Commerce. That's also the White House Visitor Center. That's where you go to get your like tourist information and stuff. See you later. We're gonna go around to the south side of the White House now. We should be able to see some of the White House a little bit better from this side. You never know though. I will say though, I have not seen a single National Guard soldier. I've seen less than 5 or 6 Secret Service compared to the Capitol. Oh, I spoke too soon. I literally spoke too soon, because what do we have there? We have a guard unit with a soldier. It's just like, is that fate, you know? Here I am talking about, oh yeah, there's no National Guard here, and then like those guys just walk by. It's kind of a gray day, isn't it? All right, let's see what we can do here. Oh shit. No way, I can't get through here? Oh man. Oh, suckamundo. I don't know, I think they just let the dog run around. They're not really dressed that warm today. So guess what, guys? I now have to walk 2 blocks that way, 4 blocks that way, and then 4 blocks back. I can't get to the south lawn to give you the great view. Snow's coming this way. It's supposed to be snow tomorrow, but now they're saying it's going to be Sunday. Oh, this sucks. I wanted to take you closer to the White House. Now I'm not big sheet. I'm going to get over here by the monument. It's the closest we can get. All the guard troops are over at the Capitol, apparently. I mean, notwithstanding those guys who just broke up my mention. There's no razor wire down here at the White House. There is razor wire. Masks are required in D.C. in public, unless you're, quote, strenuously exercising. Then you don't have to wear a mask. But if you're outside in public, you have to wear a mask. And most people comply. Will the fence come down? Not soon enough. Honestly, I hate this fence. It's just depressing. It's just depressing that we have this fence. Mayor Bowser. You know, the mayor has an official residence. It's in like Capitol Hill. It's near the Marine Barracks at 8th and I. But I don't know if they actually stay there. Yeah, my tourists. That's actually the Boy Scout Memorial right there. Yeah, back in the day, they put up a memorial to the Boy Scouts. This is like the most ridiculous memorial ever. This memorial here is dedicated to the landowners who had their land eminent domained to create Washington, D.C. So if you were a farmer here like 200 years ago and owned some land, and then the federal government came in and took it to make D.C., they gave you a memorial. The Big Red One, which is the 1st Infantry Division, they have a memorial over there that looks like a sword. Is that the one you're talking about? No, you can't get to that either. That one's all closed up by fences now, too. Gold sword. I think they have a gold sword. It's like, you know what, we're going to see. We're going to be over there in like 15 minutes or so. We'll take a look. So that's the African American History Museum over there. It's actually a pretty popular museum. I haven't actually been in there because you have to get like a timed ticket, and I never have the patience to like sign up and show up, and then of course it closed. Oh, the musket fence. Yeah, that's in Georgetown. There's a house in Georgetown that has a fence made out of muskets. That's pretty cool. Musket barrels. Because it was cheaper to buy government surplus scrap musket barrels than it was to buy pipe. Go figure. This fence is actually really hard to take apart. I mean, no, we can figure this out. So you see this thing here? It goes down, and then there's one up there. So you could just like lift up this out of its thing, and then it would sort of fall over. But if you were like jumping up and down on it, you'd have to go against this counterweight of this cement barrier, which I suspect weighs a ton, about. So that ain't gonna happen, yeah? You can't push these fences over, but you can take them apart. So, it's a homeless dude. Sorry, man. That's a homeless guy sleeping on a steam grate. So the buildings have these steam grates that run between them and push out hot air, and the homeless guys like to sleep on them because it's warm. There's the Washington Monument, all pointy. My kids call it the big stick. All right, guys, my shoelace is untied, so hang on a second, okay? You're getting a view of the ground while I tie my shoes. It's, yeah, we'll go by the sword in a bit. Okay, shoe is tied again. Sorry about that. I think we might get a view of the White House. So this is the Ellipse. I'm using an iPhone 12. The Christmas tree is a permanent tree. So yeah, it's still over there, but it doesn't have lights on it, of course, right now. They're not that low budget. I think it was in the Carter administration, they decided to just plant a tree rather than cut a tree down every year and bring it here. We're going to see a bit of the White House in a minute or two. It is a real growing tree. Yeah, the White House is right up there behind this fence. I'm just going to try to get a little bit closer so we can get a better view. Maybe at this green light you guys can get a better view in just a bit. It's hard to shoot through this fence. I'm holding an iPhone 12 in my arm. Just in my hand, no sticky or anything like that. I find that carrying like a selfie stick or even a gimbal, it gets really heavy, and this guy goes, hey guys, I got like all these people watching on Periscope and they want me to go to the White House. Can I go in? And they'd be like, you're dead. Wouldn't work. Yeah, the Periscope app has some really good image stabilization. Plus, of course, the iPhone has optical image stabilization. Okay, guys, guess what? Ta-da! There's the White House. And it does have a flag. I don't know why everybody's been asking me. It's like, I was told that there's no flags flying over the buildings in Washington. And I'm like, huh? Hang on a second. Let's just get that right there. But you can see there is a flag. This is as close as I can get on this side. No, we can't go inside. They've got like big F-off security everywhere. Big gates. I was going to protest up on the hill. I was going to dress up like a 1960s U.S. Army soldier and have like a Checkpoint Charlie sign. Yeah? And I'd be like, you are now leaving the American sector. Oh, there was a trees. The trees over on the left-hand side of the White House are supposed to be some of the oldest ones. I'm still here. I've been putting most of my broadcasts end up on YouTube. So if you want to watch this Periscope later, this Periscope Twitter later, it's on YouTube. I'm also broadcasting on Happs every now and then, Happs, which is a new app. I tried it this morning. We had a slight glitch, so I had to come over to this one. But we'll go back. So there's no barbed wire here, and no soldiers. It's kind of odd. Oh, this is your flaming sword. This isn't the big red one. This is another sword. You're on Happs? That's good. Happs is a good app for this. Twitter will still have it. I'll still do some stuff on Twitter, but it's not quite the same as Periscope, I think. Not entirely sure. They sent me a note. It's like, would you like to download, 1,300 videos? I was like, ugh. All my old videos from Periscope. Happs is probably the best option for, if you're a Periscope user, Happs is kind of a nice place to go right now. Oh, you were sending me that note. Hey, thanks for that. Because I wasn't quite sure what was going on over there. But then I got a note from Mark, actually the CEO of Happs, sent me a note in the broadcast saying, we got a glitch, we're fixing it. And I was like, okay. So that's when we came over here. Yeah, it's a new app. It does need work. I think most people are willing to cut them some slack because they kind of basically got dumped. Like suddenly it's like, okay, this great app called Periscope is going out of business and everybody wants to use your app. And they're just like, okay. Kind of like, we'll take it. I mean, they had to like triple or quadruple their server load in a week and a lot of other stuff. But they're coming around. They're actually very engaged with the users, which is something Periscope hasn't been in years. Like they'll come in and tell you what they're working on and stuff. They are still new. I'm going to use it because it also lets you multicast. That's a big thing. I'll be able to broadcast on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Happs all at the same time. That's a Secret Service cop. Secret Service has a uniform division. Oh man, I could go for a hot dog. Yeah, it's a beta, you know, you just gotta live with beta. So that is the Organization of American States. It's kind of like the Latin American UN. This is a burger place. Cheeseburgers, hot dogs, snow puffs. Who wants a snow puff on a day like today? It's just too cold. That poor guy's got to make like 20 bucks today. There's like nobody around. There's something about a street hot dog though. Pretzel, hot dog, yeah. You know, I don't know if any of you guys are from Denmark, or have ever been in Denmark, but if you go to Denmark, you have got to get a Danish hot dog. Oh my God. It is amazing, yeah? So they grill these onions to like almost like a French fry crunchy grill. They put them on these special type of hot dog with this special sauce. Danish hot dogs. Unbelievable hot dogs. I mean, so we were at Lego World. This was 2 years ago. And wife is starving, so I'm like, I'll get you a hot dog. She's like, I don't want a hot dog, but just eat the hot dog. She ate it. She was just like, this is like God made a hot dog. She's like, this is the best hot dog I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, they like get the they basically like get the onions like really crunchy. My kids, you know, I haven't made them Danish hot dogs in a while. Maybe I should go do that tomorrow. So this is the Daughters of America. This is Constitutional Hall. Well, you had the video of your wife boar case. When I chased the wild boar. So this is DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, Constitution Hall. And then like a lot of famous people play here. Concerts. And then up here is the American Red Cross headquarters. White House is over there. We can't get in. Fence. Hot dogs in Scandinavia. Like craps.
It's plenty of stuff you've never seen before.
Do you know what I got when I was in Sweden? Swedish fish. Yeah. I went to the candy store. I said, give me some Swedish fish. They looked at me like, what? I'm like, those. They're like, we just call them fish. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, the wild boar scope. We'll have to dig that one up. That was a long time ago. There's actually, if you type Penguin 6 Guardian, you can find snippets of the wild boar periscope on the Guardian's website. So that guy needs to park his car, but he's waiting for his favorite song to end before he gets out of his car. The White House is right over there. Flags are fluttering. Oh, there's the Red Cross headquarters. I don't think they actually do like blood drives there or anything. I think it's mostly administrative. This is an art gallery, or was the Corcoran Art Gallery. Not sure if it's still open, to be honest. Oh, we got a view of the White House sort of from here. Hang on a second. These barriers suck. How am I supposed to show you the White House? Through this fence here? This just doesn't work. I don't know, this sucks. Well, the White House, just trust me, the White House is there. Holocaust Remembrance Day is today. Holocaust Museum's on the other side of the mall, but I don't think it's open today. So just reading, I was reading about some museum is doing a retrospective of what did the Western powers know about the Holocaust and when. It's been a constant question. Did they know what was really going on? And if so, why didn't they do anything? I think maybe it was the Imperial War Museum, I think, is doing that in London. That was announced today. This is the Corcoran Art Gallery. Another Ram car. George Washington bought this. Makes sense, it's close enough to campus. They're probably the only ones that can afford it. Now I gotta cross the street now. All firearms. I hope mace doesn't count. Some of you were asking why I carry pepper spray. I do actually carry pepper spray. I don't think I have it on me today. But I've had some run-ins with some aggressive homeless just harassing me. So, and there's coyotes. Kid you not. There are actual coyotes out in the Rock Creek Parkway back where we started this video. So this is nicknamed the Wedding Cake Building. This is the old executive office building where most of the staff has their offices. Yeah, it is a shame. Some of the homeless here have got some real mental illnesses that need to be addressed and aren't being addressed. More Ram cars here. Oh, I hear a horn. Can't tell if it's a truck or if it's a protester. Oh, so this is an old checkpoint. So during the inaugural, you had to go through this checkpoint. Ugh. They're still taking down all the checkpoints and barricades. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I don't know what they do. This truck's having a hard time backing up. Oh, we took out the barrier. Sorry, I haven't seen any comments in a bit, so I imagine there's a glitch. And the barrier. Oh well. You didn't need a sand barrier anyway. That's the Phipps Gallery. That's another art gallery over there. That's a private art gallery. We're fine, cool. So this is the entrance to the White House where all the staff are coming in. Got a big get lost attitude towards me right now. All right, so I guess we walk back to Georgetown, yeah? You guys want to walk back with me? What else can I show you back here? I can show you the center of the earth. I think I showed you that the other day.
All this like other stuff we're gonna do and like how we're gonna.
So we're on Pennsylvania Avenue, walking back towards Georgetown. I'm currently at 17th Street. We need to go to about 26th, 27th Street. So it's be about a 10-block hike. Whatever, fat ass. Back into the boring office part of DC. Now I'm thinking about a hot dog for lunch. or something yummy. What do you think we should see next? I mean, we did the Capitol the last couple days. We just did the White House. Oh, the Ram car is back. Hey, Phoenix. So this is the Ram car we saw at the beginning. Watching on your iPad. You know, I've had some people who've actually put me on like their treadmill. They put this on like an iPad and then they boot up their treadmill and they just walk with me, yeah? I'm walking at about 3 miles an hour or so. If you want to set your treadmill. Have I eaten this in a cafeteria? Yes, but I always preferred the house cafeteria. I used to be a staffer on the house side, so I had the right to eat all over the place. I ate in the Capitol with the congressman sometimes. I ate the Library of Congress cafeteria, which was actually one of the better ones. I ate at my desk a lot. You know, Korean food does sound good, but actually, I had homemade bulgogi yesterday. I made some bulgogi the other day, so kind of Koreaned out. Yeah, it is a famous one up there. Oh. Dubuque? I don't think there's any good hot dog places in DC. It's all just carry-out hot dog kind of places. You know where I should go? I should just go to Baltimore and get a roast beef. That would be like a mission from God. We're on a mission from God to get a pit beef from Baltimore, from Chaps. CHAPS. Chaps Pit Beef Baltimore is this legendary roast beef sandwich shop in Baltimore. That's really tempting to just like go for a drive. We're moving to Baltimore. Oh, cool. To the city itself. You want to know something really weird about Baltimore? Baltimore is actually a video game development hotbed. Yeah? So, you guys may remember a game called Civilization. Civilization was developed in suburban Baltimore as they call it. And as a result of the success of that game, several other video game development companies have opened up there. Annapolis Junction. So you'd be a little closer to Annapolis. Sounds very NSA-y. Now the area between Annapolis and Baltimore is sort of the Silicon Valley of cybersecurity. Because the National Security Agency is there, there's a lot of little developers in the Annapolis, Baltimore area who do all sorts of like stuff. Though near the NSA in Odenton, Maryland, is actually one of the best Chinese restaurants in all of Maryland. So if you want Chinese, you got to go there. Where to live? I don't know. Annapolis is probably nice, but it's expensive. But it's more of a city. Annapolis is a freestanding city, you know. So you'll have big box stores. You'll have a quaint historic downtown. You'll have a community. Most of the other areas are just suburban. God, I think it's called China Garden. It's like the most nondescript strip mall place you've ever seen. It looks like a crappy Chinese place, but you go inside and they've got a Hong Kong gourmet chef who'll cook off menu anything you want. Anything rural, but close to anything. To get rural, you have to go to the other side of Annapolis, what's known as South County, Anne Arundels, south of a town called Edgewater. And that's horse country. That's very rural. I mean, we're talking farmland, yeah? But on the north side of Annapolis, which is Annapolis to Baltimore, it's more suburban. Well, there's some very nice places on a place called Gibson Island. Severna Park is a rather hoity-toity suburb up that direction. But if you want really rural, you want to go Davidsonville or Edgewater, south of Edgewater, Riva, south of that. Kent Island. Yeah, Kent Island is cool. The only problem with that is like a commuting situation is you got to go over that bridge every day, which I think would just be really rough. So we're back at George Washington University over here. I'm passing the World Banks. Davidsonville, yeah. Davidsonville has an amazing nursery. Homestead Gardens has actually won the best landscape nursery award in the country. You walk in there, if you're going, just trust me, Homestead Gardens at Christmas. You have to go there at Christmas time. Your jaw will drop. It's an amazing layout at Christmas. So they're building a new building here. Hot dog would be good. Yeah, Homestead Gardens, your jaw will drop. I'm not kidding. You'd just be like, oh my God. You go there for Halloween? Yeah. I walked in there, but my mother's like a fanatic Christmas type, yeah? I took her there for Christmas, and like, I mean, it's just like, oh my God, I didn't know I needed, you know, the Hobbit village in Christmas this. And she's just like buying all sorts of ridiculous stuff. I need money. I need money in my life. Hear a helicopter going overhead. DC has, I think somebody quoted up, 80 to 100 helicopter overflights per day. So many military helicopters. They didn't actually have that many more helicopters during the inauguration, but they did have these like spy planes and fighter jets, stuff like that. There's a big dedicated group of aircraft spotters on Twitter in DC, and we love to go out and catch like airplanes flying overhead and stuff. Lunchtime, oh, what are you gonna get? I'm still debating about going to Baltimore for roast beef. I just don't know if I have time. What time is it? It's 10:44. Baltimore's an hour. Get the roast beef, then come back. I could do it. I could do this. What do you guys think? Should I go to Baltimore and get a roast beef sandwich? Would that be really cool? Chaps. C-H-A-P-S. Chaps roast beef. So everybody knows Maryland's official dish is crabs. Yeah? You know, crabs are flipping everywhere, okay? But if you're a Baltimore person, a Baltimore person, you really know that the secret dish of Baltimore is pit beef. And this is shaved roast beef cooked on an open pit, then shaved thin, sometimes with barbecue sauce, and served as a sandwich. So the Baltimore pit beef sandwich is kind of like the unofficial food of Baltimore and Maryland. It is so good. It is so okay. It's like imagine that you were having an Arby's that was made with real food. Buffalo Bob's roast beef. It puts the lotion in the basket. Is that the Buffalo Bob, that kind of place? It puts the lotion in the basket or it gets the hose again. It's like, can I have some ketchup? Put the ketchup in the basket. It's like, okay, sorry. It puts the ketchup in the basket. Oh, sorry, I'm just going a little too Silence of the Lambs here. Pasadena, okay. Too far from me. We're back at George Washington Hospital again. This is where Reagan was taken when he was shot. And this is Washington Circle. This is a statue of Washington in Washington Circle at the campus of George Washington University in Washington, D.C. And no, that's not all a coincidence. Hi. Now, Chicago isn't a Chicago beef sandwich is a corned beef, isn't it? I mean, isn't that like the traditional Chicago style beef sandwich is a corned beef sandwich? Because this is a roast beef sandwich. But I don't know, I haven't had... I mean, if I was to pick, I think Chicago would have to be a hot dog, yeah. Hot dog, Chicago dogs are probably the best. Georgetown, yeah, that's down... It's on the other side of Georgetown where we're heading now, but yeah, it just got bought by MedStar, so it's now MedStar at Georgetown University or something like that. MedStar being the big hospital chain here.
Wait.
My kids love to do this. Dad, you need to lose.
Wait.
Dad, you need to lose.
Wait.
It's like, thanks, kids. Roast beef au jus on a French bread. Coming to DC. You know, the other option is if I don't go to Baltimore, I could go to Eastern Market where they have crab cakes and they also have like fried chicken sandwiches. Eastern Market, the Market Cafe, this place is legendary, man. This place is like in the Travel Network and Food Network, Condé Nast, New York Times. They're all like, if you go to DC, you got to go to the Market Cafe and Eastern Market, which is, it's just this like short order place, but I guarantee you go there on the weekend, you'll be sitting with congressmen because they make on the weekends they make these potato pancakes. Everybody goes crazy for potato pancakes. Personally, I'm not a big potato pancake fan, but it is a thing. Yeah, I was there last week, so and I had the fried chicken, and I think I can only eat fried chicken like once a month. Yeah. Oh, so we'll see where we go. This, by the way, is the Spanish embassy of Spain. That guy's like looking at me like, "Are you gonna jaywalk?" And I'm like, "I will if you let me." Italian beef. So I used to go to school at Notre Dame, which is about an hour and a half from downtown Chicago. And at the time I was at Notre Dame, there was like not a lot of good food options. So we used to like road trip to Chicago, 90 minutes for Thai food. My classmates thought I was insane. We used to do that in Hong Kong. I used to take you to my lunches in Hong Kong all the time, which was really, really annoying because midnight in Hong Kong, 12 o'clock noon in Hong Kong was midnight in the United States. So all you folks with insomnia would watch me eat noodles and dumplings and chicken satay and all these other good foods while you guys are in bed. I had so many people complain to me that they were already in bed, but then they watched me eat and they got really hungry and they went down and snacked. Yeah, those are some old ones back when we were in HK. Problem here is I just haven't found many good places to eat. Plus in Hong Kong, I got away with like filming my lunch because everybody thought I was a tourist and stupid. But here they'd be like, "Why are you talking to your camera while you're eating noodles?" I was like, "Cuz." Yeah, making people hungry. I'm really tempted to go to Baltimore. I do need to check in with the wife though. I think she would be grumpy. She's like, "What are you doing this afternoon?" I'm like, "I'm going to Baltimore for a sandwich." She's like, "No." Hello, Pakistan. If I go to Chaps, I will film it. Soup dumplings are popular. Yeah, they're still hard to get here. Good ones. I'm actually supposed to make dumplings for the kids tomorrow. We've got a bunch of, I actually went out and bought some of the ingredients yesterday at the Chinese grocery. So I think that's my assignment tomorrow, is to make dumplings. If I go scope the dumpling making, maybe. I've done that before. Also, I haven't had pofferjets in a while. Those little Dutch pancakes, I used to do scopes of that all the time. You know, I've bought the frozen ones here, and they're just not that good. I don't know why. They just tasted kind of like sandy, I want to describe it. It's like, they were like gritty. They were made in America. They weren't like made overseas and then shipped here. That's something I'm wrestling with, because like in Hong Kong, there's no agriculture in Hong Kong. And everything is shipped in. So it's like completely normal to have Dutch chicken or Brazilian beef or Japanese noodles, because everything's shipped in. But here, everything's made in America, basically. So, like, I go to buy, like, Japanese or Chinese food, and then I look at the thing, it's like, made in Brooklyn. And I'm like, oh, okay. And, of course, finding chicken here, you basically get American chicken. Dutch chicken was like, the first weeks we were in Hong Kong, I kept asking the wife, it's like, why are you cooking the chicken differently? It tastes so much better here. And she's like, I'm not cooking it differently. It's just, it's a different type of chicken. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you can't get it. Well, there's a couple Dutch import-export shops that you can get the Poffertjes pan. You don't have to order it from Amazon. In fact, Amazon's a little bit expensive. I got it from, it's called Dutch something. It's like the Dutch shop, SHOPPE or something like that. That's where I got my Poffertjes mix and the Poffertjes pan. There's also a place called Peter's Gourmet, which is like an international import-export grocery store. Pete's Gourmet or something like that. You can look up that. What's the Dutch shop? I can't remember the name. But that's where I got my pan from, and the Koopmans that I use for Poffertjes. So good. Yeah, you can Google around. You'll probably find one. The thing you have to watch out for, though, is make sure it's a Poffertjes pan and not one of those, like, Japanese whatever pans, because those are more dimpled, yeah? The Poffertjes pan is like 1/3 of a dimple, and then those Japanese takoyaki pans are like a golf ball. And as a result, if you use that for Poffertjes, then it gets too thick and gooey, and it doesn't taste as good. So you want a Poffertjes pan. Poffertjes. Alrighty, we're back in Georgetown. We have finished this hike. I'm going to go up to my car. My car is just up here. Yeah, I didn't walk all the way from home today because I just didn't feel like it. And now that I'm thinking about getting Baltimore pit beef, hear an ambulance coming. Hey Indonesia, how you doing? The Indonesian embassy is just up the street, about 5 or 6 blocks that way. This is the Rock Creek Parkway. It's actually a national park, which is kind of neat, in the middle of the city. Now I'm entering a dog park, and it smells like dog crap. So I tell you what, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thanks a lot for watching. This video will be up on YouTube in a few hours. If I go to the beef place, I will be broadcasting a little bit later from Baltimore. If I go there, I haven't quite decided. But if I go get lunch out, I'll probably broadcast no matter what it is. All right, thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye now.